You ever have one of those months where you didn't buy anything crazy? Nothing major, just normal everyday stuff, and then you check your bank account and you're like, where the hell did all my money go? No fancy purchases. No big splurges, just groceries, a few coffees. Maybe replace something that broke, regular life expenses. And yet somehow you're sitting there thinking you should have way more money than you actually do. The math isn't mathing, you made decent money this month. You weren't being reckless, but your account looks broke. Here's what most people don't realize until it's way too late. A lot of the stuff we're all buying in 2026 just isn't worth it anymore. Not even close. Prices have gone absolutely insane on things that used to be reasonable. And we're all just going along with it because that's what everyone else is doing. We've collectively accepted that this is normal now. My name is Mike. And I help people understand where their money is actually going and how to keep more of it instead of watching it evaporate on overpriced garbage. If you're tired of feeling broke despite making decent income, hit that subscribe button and smash the like if this resonates with you. Let's go through 11 things that are absolutely not worth your money anymore in 2026. Number 1, brand new car seam. Starting with this one because it's probably the single worst financial decision most people make. And they do it over and over again throughout their lives. The moment, and I mean the literal second, you drive a new car off the dealer's lot, it loses about 20% of its value. You haven't even made it home yet and you're already down thousands of dollars. Then it continues depreciating every single year. Meanwhile, you're probably making payments on it because most people finance cars. So you're paying interest on top of the purchase price for something that's actively becoming worth less and less. It's the opposite of an investment, it's just setting money on fire. And people do this because they want that new car smell. They want the feeling of having the latest model. They want their neighbors and coworkers to see them driving something current. It's status stuff, which is fine if you're actually rich and money doesn't matter to you. But if you're a normal person trying to build any kind of wealth, buying new cars will keep you poor. I'm not exaggerating. A 3 or 4-year-old used car is going to be just as reliable, get you to the exact same places and cost half as much or less. The major depreciation has already happened. Someone else took that financial hit. You get all the utility without the stupid penalty. But people don't want to hear this because they've convinced themselves they deserve a new car. They work hard. They should treat themselves. Except treating yourself to a new car means you're treating yourself to being broke for the next 5 to 7 years while you make payments. That $600 monthly car payment you think is normal. That's $7,200 per year over the typical 6-year loan. That's over $43,000. You could invest that money instead and have a down payment on a rental property. But instead, it's going to a depreciating asset that'll be worth maybe $15,000 when you're done paying for it. Number 2. Streaming services you don't watch. Everyone in 2026 has 6 or 7 streaming services. Netflix, Hulu, Disney+, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, Paramount+, Peacock. Whatever else launched this month, each one is only $10 or $15 monthly. Which sounds like nothing, but when you add them all up, you're paying $70, $80, maybe $100 a month just for TV. That's over $1,000 a year for streaming. Now here's the question. How much of that content are you actually watching? You're probably actively using 1, maybe 2 services regularly. The rest you keep because you might want to watch something on there eventually. Meanwhile, that's literally $1,000 a year disappearing. And people are still paying for cable on top of this. Somehow there are still people in 2026 paying $120 plus monthly for cable with 500 channels they never watch. Everything is available streaming now. Cable is completely unnecessary. But people keep it because that's what they've always done. They haven't bothered to cancel and figure out a cheaper alternative. This isn't just streaming either, it's gym memberships people don't use, magazine subscriptions nobody reads, apps with premium features that go unused. All of it adds up to thousands per year just evaporating. Here's what you should do. Pick one. Maybe 2 streaming services, cancel the rest. If there's a show you want to watch on another service, subscribe for that month, binge it, then cancel. Stop paying for things you're not actively using. Number 3. Fast food. It's not fast or cheap anymore. Remember when fast food was the thing you got because it was quick and cheap? That was the entire value proposition. You could grab a burger and fries for a few bucks and get on with your day. Those days are completely gone. Now you're looking at $12, $15, sometimes $20 for a single meal at McDonald's or Burger King, $20 for fast food. You're not sitting down at a real restaurant with plates and silverware and someone bringing you water. You're standing at a counter or eating in your car out of a paper bag. And it costs the same as what a decent sit-down meal used to cost. The value proposition has completely disappeared. You're paying premium prices for food that's the same mediocre quality it always was. And people are doing it anyway because it's convenient, and we've all just accepted this is normal now. But think about the math. If you're getting fast food 3 times a week at $15 per meal, that's $45 weekly, $180 monthly, over $2,100 per year on fast food. Food you could make at home for maybe $400 a year. That's $1,700 you're lighting on fire annually just because you couldn't be bothered to meal prep or make a sandwich. And that's being conservative. Most people are hitting fast food way more than 3 times weekly. Number 4, eating out at sit-down restaurants multiple times per week, taking fast food to the next level. Let's talk about actual restaurants. This used to be something you could do regularly without destroying your budget. Once or twice a week, no big deal now. Going out to eat has become this luxury expense that adds up so fast it's genuinely shocking. You sit down at a regular place, nothing fancy, order a couple entrees, maybe an appetizer, definitely drinks. Before you know it, you're looking at $70, $80, $90 for 2 people. Add the tip and suddenly you've spent $100 on one meal. $100 that's gone forever. You can't get it back. It's not like you bought something that holds value. You ate some food and now it's over. And when you're doing this multiple times per week, which a lot of people are, you're talking about thousands of dollars monthly just vanishing into restaurant bills for what? Food you honestly could have made at home for a fraction of the cost. Most people who are genuinely struggling to save money or invest or build any wealth, they're eating out way too often. That's usually where a huge chunk of income disappears. They don't realize it because it's $30 here, $40 there. But it compounds into this massive expense category that's completely optional. Here's the reality. If you're eating out 4 times a week at an average of $40 per meal, that's $160 weekly, $640 monthly, over $7,500 per year. That's a used car, that's a down payment. That's a significant chunk of an investment account. But instead it's going to mediocre food you won't remember in 3 days. Number 5, designer clothing and luxury brands. Now look, I'm not saying all expensive clothing is worthless. Sometimes quality items are worth it. A good pair of boots that'll last 10 years, a well-made coat. Things that actually last and save you money long term. But that's not what most people are buying when they buy expensive clothing. They're buying logos, they're buying brand names. They're buying the ability to tell people they own something from a luxury brand. And they're paying absolutely insane markups for it. You can buy a plain white t-shirt for $10. Or you can buy essentially the identical t-shirt with a designer logo on it for $200. Same cotton, probably the same factory, the only difference is the logo. And people will pay that $200 because they think it makes them look successful or fashionable. Meanwhile, nobody actually cares what brand your t-shirt is except you. Nobody's impressed. They might notice the logo, sure. But it's not changing their opinion of you. You're just out $190 extra for literally no reason. This applies to everything. Designer jeans, luxury handbags, expensive sneakers. The quality difference between the luxury version and a normal version is usually minimal. What you're paying for is brand recognition. And that's fine if you have money to burn, but most people doing this don't. They're going into credit card debt to buy designer clothes because marketing has convinced them it's important. It's not. You don't need a $400 belt to be worth something as a person. Number 6, new electronics. Every year new iPhone drops. People line up to buy it even though their current phone works perfectly fine. New laptop, new tablet, new smartwatch. The old one still functions, but the new one has marginally better features, so obviously they need it. This is genuinely one of the dumbest ways people waste money, and almost everyone does it. A new iPhone costs what, $1,000 now? More depending on the model, and people buy them every year or every 2 years when their old phone is completely functional. Sure, the new one has a better camera or faster processor. But does that actually improve your life meaningfully? Probably not. You're still using it to scroll Instagram, send texts, and take pictures of your food. The old phone did all that just fine. And it's not just phones, laptops, tablets, gaming consoles, all of it. People constantly upgrade to the latest version when what they own works perfectly. Tech companies have figured out how to make people feel like they need the newest model, even when they absolutely don't. If you just kept your phone for 4 or 5 years instead of upgrading constantly, you'd save thousands that could be invested in earning returns. But instead it's going to Apple or Samsung because people think they need the latest gadget. The worst part? These devices don't even last as long anymore. They're designed to break or become obsolete faster through planned obsolescence. But people keep participating because they want the shiny new thing. Number 7. Financing furniture. People are financing furniture now. Financing it like it's a car or a house, going into debt to buy a couch. A couch that'll be worn out and stained in 5 years anyway. But they want the nice one from the expensive store. So they put it on a payment plan and pay interest on furniture. That's genuinely insane. You can get a perfectly functional couch for a few $100s if you're willing to look around. Thrift stores, online marketplaces, clearance sales. But people don't want to do that because they want everything to look perfect and match and be Instagram worthy. So they spend thousands on furniture they can't afford. Then they're making payments for years on a couch. Meanwhile, they have no emergency fund. No investments, nothing building for their future. But the living room looks good. This extends to everything. Expensive bedroom sets, designer kitchen tables, premium mattresses that cost $3,000. Most of this stuff you can get for 70% less if you're just willing to be patient and shop around. But people have been convinced that expensive furniture is somehow necessary for a good life. It's not. Your life quality doesn't improve because your couch costs $2,000 instead of $400. But your financial security definitely suffers. Number 8. Expensive vacations you can't afford. Taking a vacation used to be pretty affordable if you were smart about it. Find decent flights, stay at a budget hotel, eat at inexpensive local spots. Have a good time without spending a fortune. That's gotten way harder. Flight prices are insane. Hotels are insane. Even the budget options are expensive compared to what they used to be. But people are still taking elaborate vacations they absolutely cannot afford because they feel like they have to. They see everyone posting vacation photos on social media and think they need to do the same. So they book a trip they can't afford, put a bunch on credit cards, then spend the next year paying it off with interest. Travel can be great, seeing new places, experiencing different cultures, all valuable. But not if it's putting you in debt, not if it's preventing you from saving or investing. There's this attitude that you have to travel while you're young. You have to see the world, you have to collect experiences. And sure, experiences are valuable, but you know what else is valuable? Not being broke, not being stressed about money constantly, not having to work until you're 70 because you spent everything on vacations in your 20s and 30s. Maybe the better approach is smaller trips closer to home. Explore your own region, find free or cheap activities. Save international travel for when you can actually afford it without debt, but that's not what people want to hear. They want permission to spend money they don't have on experiences they think they need. Number 9. Premium household products and kitchen gadgets, branded cleaning products, expensive kitchen gadgets, designer everything for your home. People are spending way more than necessary on basic household items because they think expensive equals better. Generic cleaning products work just as well as name brands but cost half as much. That cheap spatula does the same job as the fancy one from Williams-Sonoma. Nobody needs a $400 blender unless they're running a business. But people buy this stuff anyway because they've been convinced expensive means better quality. And sometimes that's true, but often it's not. There's this whole culture around having the perfect kitchen with all the right tools. People buy specialized equipment for things they make once a year, bread makers that never get used, pasta makers collecting dust. expensive knife sets when they only use 2 knives. It's all just stuff taking up space and draining bank accounts. Same with cleaning products, you don't need the premium brand name version. The generic works the same, but people pay double because they trust the brand or they like the packaging or whatever. Number 10. Status spending, watches, bags, accessories you don't need. This is when people buy things not because they need them or even really want them, but because they think it makes them look successful. Expensive watches, designer bags, luxury accessories, all of it is just trying to project an image of wealth to other people. And it's completely backwards. Actually, wealthy people usually aren't doing this. They don't need to prove anything. It's people who want to look wealthy but aren't actually building wealth who fall into this trap. They're spending money on things that depreciate just so they can look successful to friends, neighbors, and random strangers who don't care about them at all. Meanwhile, they have no savings, no investments, nothing building for their future, but they've got the nice watch and the designer purse, so everyone thinks they're doing great. It's all fake. The really sad part is this spending is driven by insecurity. People think if they have the right stuff, they'll feel better about themselves or others will respect them more. But it doesn't work that way. Respect comes from character and actions, not from your handbag brand. And feeling good about yourself definitely doesn't come from going into debt for things you don't need. Number 11. Daily coffee shop visits. I saved this one for last because it's the most controversial. Everyone loses their mind when you suggest skipping the daily coffee shop. Don't tell me I can't have my coffee. I'm not. I'm telling you that spending $6 on a latte every single day is costing you over $2,000 a year. That's the reality. People act like making coffee at home is some impossible hardship. It's unreasonable to suggest, but you can make excellent coffee at home for maybe 50 cents a cup. You can buy a good coffee maker for $50 that'll last years. But people don't want to do that because the coffee shop is part of their routine. It's social, it's treating themselves, I get it. But here's the math. $6 daily for coffee is $42 weekly. That's $180 monthly. Over $2,100 annually for coffee? That's not including the pastry you get half the time, or the occasional lunch when you add it all up. Some people are dropping $3,000 annually at coffee shops. Imagine if that $3,000 went into an investment account instead. Over 20 years at 8% returns. That's over $140,000. You're trading your retirement for lattes. Now, I'm not saying never go to a coffee shop. I'm saying going every single day is a luxury expense that adds up way more than people realize. The real solution, so where does this leave us? Pretty much everything costs more than it used to, and most of it isn't worth the price. Fast food is expensive and low quality. Restaurants are overpriced, new cars are financial suicide. Designer clothes are marked up insanely. Electronics are overpriced and designed to break. Furniture financing is ridiculous. Vacations cost more than they should. Streaming bleeds you dry. Kitchen stuff is unnecessarily expensive. Status spending is burning money, and daily coffee adds up to thousands. The solution isn't complicated. Stop buying stuff you don't need. Stop trying to keep up with everyone else. Stop falling for marketing that tells you you need the newest everything. Cook at home more, keep your car longer, buy used when possible, cut subscriptions you don't use. Keep your phone until it breaks, buy generic products. Stop trying to look rich and start building actual wealth instead, because that's what it comes down to. You can either look wealthy or be wealthy. For most people, you can't do both. Every dollar you spend impressing others or buying unnecessary stuff is a dollar not working for your future. Maybe that means your life looks less impressive on social media. Maybe you don't have the newest phone or fanciest car or most exotic vacation photos. But you'll have savings, investments, actual financial security instead of just the appearance of it. That's worth way more than any of this other stuff. Most people won't figure this out until it's too late. The ones who do figure it out early end up financially comfortable. The ones who keep spending money they don't have on things they don't need end up stressed about money their entire lives, wondering why they can't get ahead despite decent income. This is why. All these expenses that seem reasonable in the moment but add up to thousands annually just disappearing. Track your spending for a month. You'll probably be shocked how much goes to stuff that doesn't matter. Then figure out what you can cut, because I guarantee there's something. Usually there's a lot of some things. That money could be building your future instead of paying for your fifth streaming service or your third restaurant meal this week. If this opened your eyes to where your money is going, subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment telling me which of these 11 things you're guilty of and which one you're cutting first. Let's talk about it. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.